佢 record 緊嘅個 lecture，咁所以一陣間都可以俾一啲冇返學嘅人可以過嚟 catch up 翻啊。係啊，係啊。So, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we have a very special guest today, and she is my friend, Ms. Venus Cook. For your information, Venus is currently the director of Quamlets, and she is also the committee member of the Hong Kong Basic Law Steering Committee. So she's the boss. Okay, so some interesting fact and background information about Venus. Just like many of you, she studied and graduated from HKBU, but she did her master's degree here at the School of Communication. So she's your senior. And the second fact is that Venus is a seasoned communication practitioner specializing in media and investor relations, stakeholder engagement, as well as executive communication. Personally, Venus is married, and she also is a good cat lover, a big cat lover. How many cats you have? You got three cats. Think about that, okay? Right. Oh, wow, look at this. You tailor make those cats on your phone. So you're carrying out your cats physically. So I think it is our honor to have Venus sharing about media and investor relations. Without further ado, let me pass the mic to Venus. She'll be sharing for about maybe 40 minutes around that time. And during her sharing, please do jot down some notes because right after her sharing, you have to submit a reflective paper. Okay, I have already provided some guiding question for you. Based on Venus sharing, please do write down something and submit that reflective paper. Okay, all good? If all good, let's put our hands together and welcome Venus.
Hello, everyone. So actually, I plan to introduce myself for 5 minutes because it's very difficult to do a sharing for an hour. But Henry just, uh, already introduced me. Yeah, but I think I still have to introduce myself. I'm Venus. So I also graduated from HKBU. It's a very good school. But I just told Henry I forgot where to get my water, and I'm not sure. Cause I did my part-time master here, so usually the snack department closed when I come to school. And I graduated my bachelor degree in Australia. I did journalism in my bachelor, so I think some of you also did doing journalism now. Okay, so I maybe I won't talk more many about the theory of media relations, PR things, because I know you guys did a lot of theory classes already. So yeah, media relationship is actually a form of public relations. Building very good relationship with media is important because if you're working as a PR or financial PR, you rely their help on your company events or you need their coverage. That's very important for you to build relationship with media. So anyone is interested in working in financial media role, financial PR role. Okay. Uh, uh, anyone planning to be a reporter after you graduated? Okay, no again. So, what are you guys studying currently? Journalism? Anyone doing journalism? Anyone doing communications? Okay, what major or what bachelor degree you're doing? What degree are you doing? PR. Oh, so but you're not interested in working in PR after you graduate? Oh, I'm just curious. I'm just curious asking because when I did my journalism degree, before that, I actually studied food science for a year and I changed to journalism. And yeah, and I work as reporter after I graduated. So yeah, you have to think about it for your career path. But being in media industry is very interesting. So I work in media industry for not over, almost 10 years. So Henry asked me to prepare some experience and real life examples of financial PR and media relations. So, do anyone know when do we need financial PR? Okay, so let me talk about my PowerPoint. No one gonna answer my questions. Okay, I can take some. Uh, uh, I was a student before, and I know uh, it is kind of boring when someone is sharing in your class and you must attend because you have their participation percentage uh, in your course. So uh, never mind. I will share and I will talk on my own. Don't worry, I won't pick anyone for difficult questions. I'm very considerate. So yeah, for financial PR, when do we need? Um, Sometimes the press conference and the AGM, the annual general meeting, or the EGM, when you are working in the listed company. And sometimes we have investor luncheon. We will invite some like stock commentator, different stakeholders, and media to join the investor luncheons, and some other events as well. Why I put this photos here? I'm not sure if anyone and oh, this is easy. Anyone been to ICC before? ICC, ICC 哦。九龍站嘅 ICC, Kowloon Station ICC. Have you ever been there before? Elements, Elements Shopping Center. Yeah. Why I picked this event because I think this is very interesting. When I was working in TVB and I cover news in property, first-hand residential, 樓市嘅記者。Back at that time, before COVID, every year, 新鴻基地產, Property, they would hold an event called ICC Vertical Run, 新地垂直跑. That is a run that this is a charity run actually, but require everyone to run from the ground floor to the top one. Is about 100 floors, 100 levels. And every year they got a media run. So they invite a lot of media to join the event. It was for media run, it was easier, about 25 levels. But we know it's very tiring. It would be very, very tired because I wasn't a sport person back then. And yeah, every time after I joined the event, I got muscle active for almost a week. But I want to say the financial PR in 新鴻基地產, they're very good at building the media relations because even though we know there's a very tiring event, we would join the media run and give them media coverage. I will talk about how to build up very good media relationship later on in my next slides. But yeah, sometimes when you're working as a PR, your boss will give you some very impossible missions. For example, like this, how do you ask someone to run like 100 levels if they're not your friend or not your good friends? Yeah, it's very tiring events, but Yay. I will talk about how to build a relationship later, but I think there's a very interesting event. And also for PR, you have to pitch interview, uh, following up the editorial, or even you pay for the editorial uh, afterwards. Oh, okay. Okay. Advertorial. It's very interesting. Um, okay. When you work in a company, I'm not sure this so no one ever worked as internship. No one has an internship before. Okay. So in most of the private company ecosystem, no boss wants to pay money for media coverage. So you have to pitch interview. But if no one gonna do the interview for you, so we will have to pay. So that would be an advertorial. It's actually an editorial plus advertising. So we make it the word advertorial. So you have to pay for advertising, but actually that would be an feature interview or an article about what you want to cover. For example, your company, you're gonna have um, a big sale, like maybe you work in Cafe Pacific, you got a big sale. You think that it's a big sale, but maybe no one wants to have a coverage on it. But you really want to sell that, then you have to pay the media to write some article for you. So it would be an advertising in an article way. So it is an advertorial. Okay. Do you think I'm boring? No, no one sleep yet, right? Okay, I try to be interesting because my first language is Cantonese. I'm a very funny person when I talk in Cantonese. So, after the slide in English, you can ask me questions in Cantonese, and I will answer you in a very funny way. Not a bribery. You pay to the media company. Like, have you ever watched the TVB advertising during the Chinese New Year? 打俾廣告部徐小姐. That is an advertorial. Yeah. Um. Uh, for your information, every media outlets they got media sales. Media sales. Not only selling the advertising slot, they also sell the advertorial because uh, there's no not reporter not only report on some like local news or the area they're covering, they also write the advertorial for their clients. So if you pay the money to the media outlets and you sign a contract with the company and with the media sales, you are the client. You can ask the media to write for a company in a good way because when reporter write an article for a company and it's not paid, they usually would be a very neutral article. But if you pay it, would that must be a positive article for a company. Okay, so uh, how to attract media to come to your event or the AGM for listed company? Uh, First, you have to send out the press invitation, um, the press release to the contact you have got. So for every media outlet, they got a general emails to receive this kind of press invitations. Um, so sometimes you have to engage some KOL influencers depends on what company you're working in. Sometimes we engage politicians, government officials to join our event to enhance the media coverage, to get more media coverage in the next day. So, for example, when you're working in a chain restaurants company or cosmetic companies, that you may want to engage some KOL artists to attract the reporter from lifestyle magazines or from beauty magazines. So if you work in a company like Tencent, Xiaomi, the huge listed company, you may want to engage some politicians, government officials to your event that you ensure you got the media coverage the next day. So, for example, if you are lucky enough to invite John Lee, the CE of Hong Kong, then you can ensure every media in Hong Kong will have coverage on your event because he's a very popular person. Every media, every reporter want to ask him for questions. So yeah, so if your event is kind of boring, you can invite some big names into your event to ensure you got the coverage. And sometimes we offer exclusive access to the media, for example, exclusive interview opportunity. And we also have to ensure media attendance. This is track their RSVPs, follow up with your contacts to confirm any media would attend your event. Uh, So as no one worked in any internship before, so I'm gonna share. If you work in a media company, a news channel or newspaper, you must perform a task every day before day end. We call it check assignment. Check assignments mean you have to check what press conference, what events will be happening tomorrow. So you have to call other media outlets. For example, you're working in TVB, you may have to call cable TV, Hoi TV, and Now TV to ensure what event they are going to attend tomorrow, because we don't want to miss out any news. So when you're working in PR, you will have to do the same thing, calling each reporter from different media outlets to ensure if they would join your event tomorrow, because your boss must ask you who will be joining tomorrow. So yeah, for news clipping wise, you have to call all of your close media. And next, for pitching interview or doing advertorial, anyone sleep yet? Not yet, right? I have to check like every 10 minutes. Okay. So for pitching interview, this is also very interesting because I mentioned before, no boss wants to spend any money for news coverage unless they need to do an advertorial. So you have to, when you have to pitch an interview, to any media, any journalist, you have to identify the right journalist. So if were you're working in medical industry and you want to ask some of your company doctors, medical professions to have some airtime on the medical programs. For example, you see TVB, High TV, and View TV, they got a lot of coverage on medical. And you want to let your company staff to be shown on that show, then you have to contact those journalists to pitch them if you can have an opportunity to join their program. So you have to prepare some unique story and make sure your story newsworthiness. For example, like for a medical company, you have to prepare like the trending things. For example, everyone is covering the news on flu A these days. So if your medical profession is specializing in the flu treatments, then you can pitch your report to the journalist saying that you have this kind of professionals that would help your program and eventually helping yourself. And also, you have to be respectful because not every time you pitch the reporter, they will say yes. Mostly 80% they would say no. Because, yeah, 80% they would say no because they got a lot of PR pitching them, approaching them every day. Okay, so when they say yes and you're lucky 20%, and you have a very important missions. I think it's most important in this page is prepare for the interview. Prepare your boss, because uh, a boss is a very difficult thing to handle in the world. Because no one worked before, so I hope you guys are lucky enough to meet some bosses easy to handle, but mine is very difficult. So you have to make sure your boss understand uh, the interview format. For example, if your interview is a TV interview, there would be a camera in front of your boss. So you will be here looking at your boss, and the camera is like this, and your boss is in front of you. And usually, bosses are not familiar with interview. They would have very distracting movements, strange gesture. For example, my boss, he just had an interview 3 weeks ago, and I said, okay, you have to sit here looking into the camera. Then people ask you questions, and you just answer. So okay, and he keep moving his hand. Oh, yeah, this is my idea, something like that. And I said, oh, put down your hand, you're blocking a camera. No, when I'm thinking, I have to use my hand. I have no idea why, but yeah, when everyone thinking, I think they use their brain, not using their hand. But yeah, boss is very difficult to handle like mine. Yeah, and so sometimes uh, that would be easier for this kind of boss to have interview in print media because print media usually only put their phone for recording. So I don't care my boss gesture during that interview. He can move, he can run, he can jump. That won't affect my relationship with that reporter. But for print media, there's also one point that you have to uh, make sure is you have to follow up the article they write because usually there would be a chance of misquote, especially when you're working in financial PR. Usually work for listed company and misquote was actually there a chance to affect the company stock price. That's very serious. So every article before print, you have to ask the reporter to show you the article before that, just to clarify the contents. Because if there is some misquote, and there would be very serious affecting your company and affecting your job. Okay, let me come to the most important, there's not most important, but I think the most funny slides. I know this a bit wordy, but I will make it more interesting. So, for media relations, um, if you are a PR, for media relation, you have to be accessible. So every time when the reporter got questions, they will actually WhatsApp you, call you, and ask you for the answer. Then you have to pick up. Some big company, their PR are usually not picking up their phone because when they have some crisis, they will they turn off their phone, not answering any questions. But to build good relationship, you have to be accessible. So if you can answer my question timely, every time I will ask you and I will quote your answer, then uh yeah, it's good for your career though. And also you have to keep journalists informed for any company news, any important developments. Welcome, welcome. Never mind. You catch my last slide. It's very good. This is the most interesting one. And also, you have to maintain the relationship by reaching out to your media friends, even you don't have any news. I put two invitations here. That is usually something reporter love to join. It is Chunming and Tunbai. It's Chinese New Year lunch, and what do you say Tunbai in Chinese is in English? Uh, is there's a lot. The company management will be in that lunch, and when you go into the lunch, their PR will give you a stack of lychee from their management. That is Tunbai. And you don't even have to say 恭喜發財, and they will give you lychee. That's not bribery. Again, that's not bribery. Just tradition. Yeah, lychee. Yeah, Tunbai is one of the most welcome event by media because they can have lychee in Chinese New Year. Okay. Make a guess for Mr. Li Ka-shing, the number one top rich guy in Hong Kong. How much lychee would he give out in Chinese New Year? For reporter, 李嘉誠俾幾錢利是？make a guess 500 $500. Yeah. And that's very interesting. There was a company, when they come to Hong Kong, they would have an IPO roadshow inviting a reporter to have coverage. I remember that company was a casino in Macau. So they got a souvenir bag for all the reporter. Asked the reporter to have positive coverage on their IPO. We usually won't look at the bag before we leave the event because it's impolite, right? But it was very heavy, so we just opened the bag, and it's got an iPhone inside. iPhone. I forgot it was iPhone 7, iPhone 8. Yeah, because it's already many years ago. And for every media outlet, they have an guidelines for gifts that you can receive. Lychee, the red packet, I don't know how much in it until I open it, so I don't have to tell the boss. But for an iPhone, is it must over the guideline because it costs a few thousand. So because everyone got that pack, even cameraman, and that was a cameraman asking everyone, "Hey, don't tell your boss, don't tell everyone, boss, they got an iPhone inside the bag, then we can get it." And everyone in that PC said, "Okay, we keep the iPhone, and we won't tell our boss." and there was a reporter not gathering in that group, and she did a Facebook post saying that casino give out a very nice souvenir to reporter, and the post was the leaflet, the license, the voucher, and the iPhone, and yeah, and after that Facebook post, and every one of us, all of us, get the WhatsApp, the call from our boss. Hey, you got an iPhone? I know it, and you have to return back to that company. You cannot get that iPhone. Yeah. So yeah, we don't get that iPhone because we give it back to that company, and I won't go to that casino. Yeah. Yeah, we usually that one is the most expensive one I've ever received. Not actually received it. I saw, but yeah, just return back to the company. Yeah, and uh, so if you're lucky enough to be a reporter in uh like covering property, like I did, uh, you will have many chance to receive gift and souvenir from the company. For me, when I working in like property reporters, every Mid Autumn Festival, I got at least 20 mooncake vouchers. I cannot finish them all. I even give it to the security in my buildings, and my security thought I'm very rich because I'm giving out a Peninsula Hotel mooncake voucher to them every year. But actually, just because I cannot finish them all. And usually you got a lot of souvenir if you're covering in the property sector. I think this would be uh, one thing that would attract you to go into the media industry. For me, when I believe that was 2018, 2018, 2019, a few years ago. Um, the property market in Hong Kong is still very hot. They got the first-hand residential, the that kind of press conference, 新樓嘅推介會. Like every week they got a few 新盤 than first-hand new property. So every time we know, oh, that is a good chance for us to get souvenir. So we got a lot of strange, interesting souvenir from the property developer. So if you working in that kind of company, you have to be creative to think of some gift for the reporters. I've received Christmas tree, small Christmas tree, in Christmas, and octopus card with their boss photos on it. The small, that like the keychain. That was a keychain like this, and having their company name and their boss face on it. And I tried it. There was $200 inside, and when I spent that 200, I throw that octopus away because it's very ugly. I'm not gonna use some octopus card with someone I don't know on it. So for your information, if you want to create a octopus card with your face on it, you can contact the octopus company. The minimum, I think, it is 100 pieces. You can put your face on the octopus card, giving to all of your classmates for graduation gift. They won't forget about you. Because I think that they will once in a lifetime they will receive the octopus card with their classmate face on. Yeah. Also, there's also a very interesting thing for my colleagues. He's a very senior and experienced reporter covering property news back at that time. So I went to his wedding. Okay, went to his wedding. There's one table gathering the management team from each property developers. And I heard that every the management guy giving a very thick 人情 to my friend. So if you are experienced reporter, you can married a few times, then you can get more 人情 from the management. Yeah, that is not bribery because 人情 is their blessing to your wedding, right? So you can have a lunch wedding once, dinner wedding once, and cocktail weddings once, inviting different management guy from your context, and you can receive a lot of money. Again, that's not bribery. That's just Chinese traditions. Okay, and one last thing that PR usually do is I mentioned before exclusive interview opportunity. For example, if you work in Hong Kong Stock Exchange, you're a PR there, you can arrange a small group interviews for interview with their CEO. The media outlets would be very welcome because every media company, they would like to have exclusive news. They would like to have 獨家新聞. So if you are PR, if you arrange a small group interview, they would be very welcome. And that's also one of the methods for you to build a good relationship with your media friends. Okay. I'm so lucky there's no one sleeping. Today my sharing is quite short, so I just still have to make sure everyone is awake. So I'm gonna say thank you for everyone for listening for me for about 38 minutes. So any question that can be in English, that can be in Cantonese, that can be in 普通话. I can also 我也可以讲普通话，假如这邊有人要講普通話的話，廣東話嘅問題都可以問嘅，係啦，問下收幾錢利是啊，呢啲都得嘅。You can ask any questions like how much I ever received for my 利是 in Chinese New Year. Okay, any interesting questions? Come on. 收到幾錢利是？有一年最多出去鬥利是咧，就鬥晒所有團拜啦，咁1萬蚊左右啦。好忙噶，好忙噶！你去團拜，上晝去完中原，下晝去美聯啦，第二日要去利嘉閣啦，後日又去長實啦，個個就喺度，喂，恭喜發財，恭喜發財，喂，身體健康，身體健康。唔好意思，遲咗嚟，遲咗少少，然後個 PR 就，唔緊要，遲咗留咗一沓俾你噶啦，咁樣，咁你就袋，多謝晒，多謝晒，唔使食飯噶，你去到，唔好意思，遲咗少少，遲咗少少啊，好，攞完。恭喜發財，多謝晒，多謝晒，咁就走噶啦，唔使話坐低食個飯，除非你好肚餓，如果唔係你趕唔切下一場啊，因為你呢度鬥完啊嘛，1點半食完，喂2點半第二個再鬥過噶，你坐低食飯你鬥唔切噶，咁你先趕到呢個步伐啊。咁多年就冇計過，最多年1萬蚊左右啦，一日啊，一日2、3千咯。係啊，所以咧，你見到團拜咁咧，我建議咧，你嗰日有多啲團拜嘅活動咧，你記得攞假。點解啊？因為老細會派一個人去 assignment 出去嗰個 event，咁你翻工啊嘛，多啲團拜嗰日你請假，你直接喂好耐冇見啦，遲咗少少嚟啊，喂恭喜發財，好啦走啦，第二個又恭喜發財又可以攞一沓啦。呢個係 strategy 嚟嘅，話大家淨係對錢有興趣啫喎。 有冇啲我打交嗰啲啊，梗係有噶啦，打交實有噶。咁搶客未？早幾年都 property market 好熱嘅時候會打交噶，爭客咯。喂，你行去睇個示範單位，喂，阿陳生，喂，呢個盤點點點啊，隔離就話，我哋一齊睇示範單位啊。點知嗌阿陳生個係利嘉閣嘅，喂，一齊嚟睇示範單位嗰個原來係美聯嘅，咁咪打交咯。係，喂，有冇啲有趣啲嘅問題啊？有冇問題啊？喂，any questions？有冇人講普通話㗎呢度？有沒有？哎，點解用廣東話問呢？有沒有人這邊是講普通話，想要問問題的？梗係冇啦！你有折扣，買股票冇折扣啦，點會有折扣啊？搞笑喎！做記者咧，咁啊，工作辛苦啦，咁啊，最開心就純粹都係頭先我分享下，新年嘅時候有得團拜啊，其他時候都冇呢啲嘅，即係你話有咩福利啊？冇啊，最多就係、你有一個相熟嘅sector 嘅人啦，佢會請下大家去 happy hour 啊，食下 lunch 啊。唔會有買樓有折嘅。如果買樓有折，我都唔轉工啦，係咪？嗱，咁啊，以前咧，你有一個 event 啦，咁有一樣嘢叫咪兜嘅，咁你就係要擺你知你公司個台嗰個咪，咁啊擺喺個咪兜度。咁啊，通常 TVB 係最早到嘅，點解咧？因為如果你個咪唔係擺喺中間咧，你老細會鬧你嘅。咁啊，係咪爭位就視乎你點睇啦？咩嘢都要爭噶啦。但係以前TVB 就一定要擺喺中間個咪，因為佢一定要影到。如果你俾 Now 同埋 Cable 擺咗喺中間，你就會俾人鬧嘅，好慘噶。你諗啊，翻工哇，鬥嗰萬幾蚊人工，又要跑步啦，又要拎住個 cam 啦，又要拎住個腳架，幾辛苦啊，好慘噶。係啊，做 PR 開心啲，做 PR 你話着得幾光鮮啊，可以着西裝褸啊咁樣。喂，記者，喂唔得係要喂跑喎，要着波鞋先，着高踭鞋啊，cameraman 鬧死你嘅。我想問在座有冇人會想做記者啊？定係大家想比較想準時放飯啊？咁啊誒，其實又唔係喎。我嗰陣嘅同事咧，好 interesting 嘅。我嗰陣老細啦，我第一份工老細，我 Now TV 嘅老細咧，係讀 geography 嘅，係啦。我隔離個同事咧係都關事㗎咋，讀 translations 啦。咁啊，我轉咗去財經組啊。我問個 junior 同事，喂，你讀咩㗎？我 USC，USC 有得讀 journal 嘅咩？唔係，我讀 chemistry 嘅。係啦，咁啊，去到 TVB 啦，另外一個老細咁有經驗，佢以前仲出埋書添。你讀邊間 U 啊？讀中大。哦，中大張讀唔係，我讀中大哲學嘅，係所以唔係話讀張好咧就會做記者啦，其他科唔做得，唔係，係你做啲咩都可以做記者。所以大家想做記者嘅都可以，做主播嘅都可以。誒，如果做主播可以 read Maggie Leung 嗰個 anchoring，Maggie 而家都喺翻緊工，係啦。如果冇咩特別問題，我就交翻個咪俾Henry 啦。有冇問題？喂，大佬有功夫嘅原來。
Many of my students, they don't have any connection with the journalists. So how can they identify the so-called right journalist? Is that the asset from the company?
Okay, so if you're a fresh graduate, and for you, if you work in okay, I use the previous example. You work in a medical company, and you have to reach out 醫生與我 reporter. So what should you do? So first step, you go on YouTube, search 醫生與我. Oh, and the name of the reporter, you find the name of the reporter. You can first ask your friend, do you have his number? Okay, if no, I will use the second approach. You have to go on LinkedIn. You can go on LinkedIn and add that person that we want to contact, and you PM, so you message that reporter, then you can properly get the contact. Why I suggest LinkedIn? Because I said many reporters, not many, like 100% of reporter, they are very poor, so they usually look for jobs. So 100% of them got LinkedIn, so you can reach them up on LinkedIn. I can guarantee 99% of the reporter, they got their LinkedIn. And they very nice developed writing their job duties. And usually they got hashtag open to opportunity, open to work in their icons. Any other questions, sir? Any restaurant recommendations in HKBU? No? No? There's like, okay. So so you guys usually go to Festival Walk or Collins City for lunch? 羅富有咩食啊？Sushi 咯，food court 3個，very boring 喎。I'm asking for interesting, nice restaurants nearby, not 3個。Interesting and nice and yummy 咯。女人點會知道自己想食咩㗎？你男朋友問你想食咩，你答佢唔知啊，你諗啊，係咪？係啊，唔知啊，你諗。係啊，你哋冇嘢問我，我問翻你哋啊嘛。有冇餐廳推介？嗱，做 PR 咧，老細會問你啊，喂，我一陣去邊度食飯啊？你諗噶，你同佢 PA 一樣噶，所以要 prepare for 你嘅 boss，and make sure 你做每一份工，你嘅 boss 都一定係好難搞啊。咁我唔知嘅，我見而家後生嘅人通常做 slasher 啦，但係如果你真係揾一份全職，記得唔好俾老細嚇走，因為所有老細都係乞人憎。呢個係我嘅最大家嘅 job 嘅一個寄語啊。好啦，仲有冇嘢問我？或者有冇餐廳好食？冇我就將個咪交翻俾你哋嘅領導啦。
So thank you so very much, Venus, for your very inspiring talk. So class, please give another round of applause to Venus. Thank you. I personally learned a lot, particularly for all those strategies, very practical examples that she shared. To all my students, I believe many of you have jotted down a lot of notes. So try to consolidate all your notes. You can exchange your notes with your peers. And I will give you a week to write that reflective paper. So don't worry about it. You don't have to submit it right after class. You still have a week to polish your content. Okay, so before we end, actually, as a small token of appreciation, I have prepared a tiny little gift for Venus. Not $500 Lacey, but exactly. No, unfortunately, they don't have this kind of guts. Right. Exactly. So this is the limited edition tote bag of our School of Communication. So you are a graduate, and you know that this is our motto.
I don't know.
為真為善. Truth is right. Right. Truth is virtual. So I will give it to you. And whenever you come to HKBU, exactly, right. Right, exactly. This is the real limited edition tote bag. So whenever you carry this tote bag back to HKB, you will enjoy all those sort of VIP privilege. Okay, so that's good for you. And I think very, yeah, very fashionable, right? So you ask my student, they really need this bag, but this is limited edition. So you're cool right now. Okay. Right. You can do an auction right after class. But anyway, I think it's good time for us to take a group photo with Venus. So maybe Venus, you can stand in the middle, and all my students, you can squeeze yourself, come to the middle, and we can take a group picture, and then we can wrap up. Okay? It's up to you. It's really up to you. So just squeeze yourself, stand in the middle. Make sure your face is it can be recognized. All right. The Okay, two reminders before you end. Number one, make sure you find your group mates. I have uploaded the grouping list onto Moodle. So in case you still have not yet found your group mates, take this opportunity. So we are 20 minutes behind the schedule. Feel free, ahead of the schedule, feel free to squeeze this time to find your friends. Okay, the second reminder is that 3 weeks later, we will have our final exam. So I will give you some kinds of tips next week. Please do come back earlier. Okay. I noticed that some students have a tendency to come back late for 15 to 20 minutes. I will try to give you that kind of revision at the beginning of our lecture. Okay. So somehow I motivate you to come back earlier. All right, if you have any question, feel free to stay. You can ask me or ask Venus. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.